Hello everyone, good afternoon. Good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep and welcome to this session today where I'll be talking about algebra section. So we'll start soon with our session, but before that, can you all please confirm whether I'm audible and visible to you or not? Just confirm it once, guys. Can you all hear me? Can you all see me? Hanji, I hope all of you can hear me, all of you can see me. I was off for a few seconds. So now everything should be fine. Okay. So yesterday or day before yesterday, I don't remember, we had a session about arithmetic, that how important arithmetic is for CAT. I don't know how many of you joined in that session. I mean, of course, you can watch that session after this class as well. It's available to you in recorded format on your YT channel of BYJU'S exam prep. So today I'll be talking about algebra now, that after arithmetic, how important algebra is for us. That's what our session is all about today. Okay. Good afternoon, K. Jyoti. Good afternoon, everyone else. Once again, I am assuming that there are no operational issues. I'm audible and visible, so we can start. So, how algebra is important for CAT 2023? First thing. Second, you might have seen the name of the topic as that, can I completely skip algebra? I mean, that's a very common question we have been dealing with for many years now. Almost every year students ask us this question. Sir, can I completely skip algebra? Still, can I expect a good score in the quant section? So that's also what I'm going to address today. That because simple reason is, when I talk about arithmetic, so arithmetic has got all those areas which you have studied in your school days and you probably liked them as well, like percentages, profit loss and discount, simple interest, compound interest, then averages, time speed distance, time and work. These are all those areas that we have studied in the school days. But the moment we started doing things like linear equations, quadratic equations, sequence and series, logarithm, modulus, inequalities, this is the time when we start losing interest in mathematics. So as far as I remember, most of the students have a bitter memory of that school mathematics from the time algebra started. Till that time, everything was still doable. But that made things worse because actually you were not able to visualize things in algebra. I mean, when someone says A is coming at a speed of 40, B is coming towards him at a speed of 50, so the relative speed is 90, I can at least visualize and check that. But suppose there is an equation x square minus 5x plus 9 is equal to 0, and someone is saying split the middle term, find the roots, it becomes difficult for us to visualize that, because this is something that we probably have to memorize, or we have to, mug up the rules. So therefore, at that point, people generally stopped loving mathematics. Algebra is the culprit for that. Now you have questions from algebra in your CAT exams as well. So how important is that? Can we skip this part? First of all, let me talk about the paper pattern. I mean, I discuss about it on almost all the classes because we have different students in each class. So CAT 2022, I mean, this is very important to know how many questions do appear. So 22 questions were there in CAT 2022 in the QA section. This section was of 40 minutes. Out of these 22 questions, 14 questions were MCQs. MCQs means multiple choice questions, where every question has got some options and you have to select from them. And there were 8 theta questions. Theta is type in the answer, right? Theta type questions are where you have to type in the answer. For every right answer, you got plus 3 marks. For every wrong answer, you got minus 1. But for theta questions, for every right answer, you got plus 3. For wrong answer, it was 0. There is no negative marking for wrong questions in theta type questions. In CAT 2023, we are expecting that the paper pattern would be something like, there is going to be 66 to 76 questions in the paper, out of which quantitative ability will have somewhere between 22 to 26, and non-MCQs will be 6 to 8, MCQs will be 16 to 18. Marking scheme is going to be the same. The time limit is most probably going to be the same, though things might change and we'll be able to say about them by surety only when the actual notification would come out. At that time, we'll have that clarity that, okay, what is going to happen this year. Okay, that's what CAT is 2023 most expectedly is going to be. Now, when I talk about the score versus percentile thing, that in CAT, at what score you would get what kind of percentile. So currently, I'm just giving you a snapshot of CAT here. So out of 198 marks, roughly a person who has done approximately 48% has got 99.5 percentile, right? He's got 99.5 percentile, rather 48 bhi nahi hai, I think it is around 46%, has got 99.9 percentile. A person who scored approximately 41% has got 99 percentile. A person who got somewhere around 30% got 95 percentile, and so on and so forth. These are telling you at what score you can expect what percentile in the CAT exam. Okay. But our today's area is algebra. So today I am going to talk about algebra primarily. So look at algebra now. Overall number of questions in quant in the last 4 years have been 22, 22, 26 and 34. These 3 years the paper was of 40 minutes, whereas the year before that it was of 60 minutes. Out of all these questions, you would see that always the second largest area has been algebra only. After arithmetic, this becomes the second biggest area for you. The biggest area, of course, is arithmetic. The second biggest area for you is going to be algebra. So you can say that after arithmetic, it is the second most important area for you. The largest important area is, of course, arithmetic. The second most important area is algebra, right? But there is a big question, golden question, I would say. That is, can we completely skip algebra? My answer to that question is yes as well as no. Kaise? When I say yes, that means I am saying yes or no basically. They both lead to one thing. You can completely skip algebra, but just do the basics. At least do the basics. Because you never know that this year suddenly the CAT exam has a lot of questions on algebra. More than arithmetic, that's a possibility. There is a possibility lesser number of questions are there, but all of the questions are very easy. So why to leave the easy questions? Okay, I don't like algebra. This is also a question from algebra where 2x plus 3y is 5 and x minus y is equal to 9. But don't we know how to solve this? Though it is algebra, but should I be just skipping a question because it is from algebra, or I should be skipping a question because I do not know this? So this kind of question, I am sure that everyone who is currently watching me can do. So why to skip these questions, right? So just do the basics. In linear equations, just try to understand how to solve an equation. In quadratic equations, just try to understand how to solve an equation. What is discriminant? How the nature of roots is decided by that, because you have a lot of questions on quadratic equations in the actual exam. I can show you here. When you talk about algebra, approximately 32.8% of the questions in the last 3 years have been from algebra. The largest percentage of questions have been from quadratic, followed by sequence and series and linear equations, and an equal number of questions almost have been from logarithm and functions. So these are the big areas. I would say, okay, you do not like algebra, at least do the basics of quadratic equation. What is discriminant? What is the nature of roots using discriminants? How to solve a quadratic equation using middle term split? How to solve a quadratic equation using Sridharacharya's formula? How do we find out the maxima of a quadratic, minima of a quadratic? ठीक है, इतना करके छोड़ दें. Sequence and series. What is the sum of an AP series? What is an average of an AP series? How do we find the nth term in an AP series? Same for GP. What is the sum of a infinite GP series? At least this much can be done. What are the simple rules of logarithm? Right? Log a plus log b क्या होता है? Log a to the power a b क्या होता है? Log a to the base a क्या होता है? So some 5-6 rules of logarithm. In linear equations, anyways, we knew many things already. We can skip probably functions, inequalities, algebraic identities, higher order equations. चलो ठीक है, वो पार्ट छोड़ देते हैं. I'm not saying कि उन पे questions नहीं आते या आ नहीं सकते. Still, those questions can be there. They can be there. But I would suggest in algebra, if a person is not very comfortable in quantitative aptitude, or is feeling that I have very less time, what you can do is अरिथमेटिक तो थॉरली आपको करना है, चाहे आप किसी भी स्टेज पे हो, आपको मैथ्स पसंद हो ना पसंद हो, अरिथमेटिक मस्ट बी डन बाय ईच एंड एवरीवन. In algebra you can just do these four areas, skip others, right? And in these four areas as well, just do the basics completely, and that would be done, I think, in 10 or 12 days you can complete your algebra. I repeat, if a person is just looking for a decent percentile in quant, something like 90, they can skip algebra like this. That can be done. But if you are good at algebra, nothing like that, because of course it is the second biggest area of quant, right? So why to leave it? There is no point. मैं अर्थमेटिक और अलजेब्रा करके बाकी छोड़ दूं फिर भी चलता है, ठीक है, लेकिन अर्थमेटिक के बाद मैं अलजेब्रा छोड़ दे रहा हूं. Why to do that? If I am good at quantitative aptitude and I am expecting better scores at it rather than verbal ability, then I would probably be doing algebra thoroughly. But for a person who is just looking for clearing the sectional cutoffs, ये चार एरियाज कर लीजिए, बेसिक्स अच्छे से पढ़ लीजिए, and your job would be done. This is probably that can be done in my opinion. Hello Akash, hello Jethalal, Champaklal, good evening to all of you. I hope I have made my point clear to everyone. And please do press the like button as well if you have got my point. जो मैं समझाना चाह रहा हूं, अगर वहां तक पहुंच रहा हूं, please do the press the like button as well. That was about it. Now, when I talk about the overall weightage, in the last class we talked about quantitative ability. Today we are talking about this portion, which is algebra, and that is 30% of quantitative ability. Of course, the second largest area after arithmetic. Okay, this is the largest area arithmetic, second largest area that is algebra. Combining these two, you have approximately 70% of the section. अगर आप कर लेते हैं algebra पूरा, उससे अच्छी बात ही नहीं है. 70% QA section would be covered. And what do we mean by 70% of QA section? I am sure you know this, right? That if you look at the score versus percentile, 66 marks का पेपर था लास्ट ईयर. 70% ऑफ 66 इज इक्वल टू अप्रोक्सीमेटली 46. 99.5 परसेंटाइल था 37 पे. 46 पे तो आप शायद 100 परसेंटाइलर के आसपास पहुंच जाएंगे. Right? So doing complete arithmetic and algebra probably can take you up to 100 percentile, even if you leave all the three topics beside. और ये हर साल की कहानी है, सिर्फ एक साल की कहानी नहीं है. Every year this keeps happening. But yes, of course you can't do all the questions of arithmetic, you can't do all the questions of algebra. Even if you do half of them, even if you do just 23 marks, still you are above 95 percentile, right? So just think of this. I am doing only arithmetic and algebra thoroughly. सब कुछ छोड़ के सिर्फ ये दो एरियाज भी अगर करता हूं बहुत अच्छे से करने के बाद एटलीस्ट हाफ क्वेश्चंस तो कर पाऊंगा दोनों के. एंड इवन इफ आई एम डूइंग हाफ ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस, it is taking me at 95 percentile, right? Though I would not expect from a person who has left three complete areas और दो एरियाज करके उसमें से भी आधा ही कर पा रहा है, वैसे तो ये एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं है. इफ यू आर डूइंग जस्ट टू एरियाज, एटलीस्ट 70% ऑफ द क्वेश्चन यू वुड बी एबल टू डू. और अगर आप 70% ऑफ द क्वेश्चन उसमें से कर लेते हैं, you would have reached somewhere around 99 percentile in that scenario. Even this can be used, right? Even this can be used in my opinion. So I am not saying this is the best strategy that each one of you should be using. ऐसा नहीं है, लेकिन मैं इतना जरूर बोलूंगा, just try to do this. That if you are not very comfortable in doing complete quant, you are afraid of mathematics, arithmetic, algebra पूरे कर डालो, सिर्फ उनके क्वेश्चंस भी एग्जाम में कराओगे, you can easily reach up to 99 percentile. This can be done if I look at the pattern of the last 6-7 years. Now things might change suddenly next year, who knows? क्या पता सडनली बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन अगले साल ज्योमेट्री के आ जाए. But there are good chances that is not going to happen. This is going to happen that we have discussed on the screen. And स्कोर करने का एक सबसे बेहतर तरीका होता है, प्लीज लाइक सच सेशंस. आई स्टिल सी around 20 people are watching, just 3 likes are there. Please, this is the only fee that you guys have to pay to us for these free sessions. So do not be miser here. कम से कम ये काम तो आप कर सकते हैं. Now we'll be doing some questions from the last year paper of CAT. All these questions that I'll be discussing are from CAT 2022 and all the questions are from algebra. Let's start with these questions. Here is the first question for all of you. पहले आप लोग ट्राई कीजिए आंसर करने का. आफ्टर दैट वी विल बी डूइंग इट टुगेदर. एक बार बताइए जरा क्या आंसर आता है. Try to answer this question once. Question from logarithm. So I'm not saying that at this stage all of you should be able to do this question, but yes, I just want to give you an idea what kind of questions does CAT ask you. As we discussed about some of the areas, sequence and series, quadratic equations, logarithm, तो देखते हैं किस तरह के क्वेश्चंस वो आपसे पूछते हैं. Let us start doing it. 4 minus log n to the base 2 divided by 3 minus log n to the base 4, it is less than 0. इसके आपसे solutions पूछ रहा है when it would be less than 0. Now see, one simple point is, if a by b is less than 0, it does not mean you just cross multiply and say that a is less than 0. Okay? Ratio of two numbers is negative. So either a is negative, b is positive. In that case, negative by positive would be less than 0. Or a is positive, b is negative. In that case also, positive by negative would be less than 0. So either the numerator is positive, denominator is negative, or the numerator is negative, denominator is positive. These are the two cases which are there. Let's talk about case 1. केस वन में मैं न्यूमरेटर को नेगेटिव मान लेता हूं. सो 4 माइनस लॉग एन टू द बेस 2 इज नेगेटिव. दैट मीन्स 4 इज लेस देन log n to the base 2, or you can say n is greater than 2 to the power 4, 16. So n is greater than 16 and denominator is positive. So 3 minus log n to the base 4 is positive. 3 is greater than log n to the base 4, or I can also say that 64 is greater than n. N is less than 64. So n is greater than 16 but less than 64. 16 से बड़ी और 64 से छोटी. What all values are there? 17, 18, 19, so on and so forth up to 62, 63. तो 17 से 63 तक how many values are there? 47 values are there. So in case 1, I have got 47 values. Now a person who is well versed with these kind of questions would be very easily able to do the second part of it without forming equations. क्योंकि जब ये साइंस नेगेटिव हो जाएंगे, you will have n greater than 16 and you will have n less than 16 and n greater than 64. ये opposite हो जाएंगे. यहाँ पे n was greater than 16, so n would be less than 16 now. यहाँ पे n was less than 64, so n is greater than 64. और ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता. Is there any value which is less than 16 and greater than 64? वो हो नहीं सकती. So case 2 is not possible. Case 1 is possible, which gives me the answer as 47. So 47 is the right answer for this question. The number of distinct integer values of n which can satisfy this equation is equal to 47. 47 is the correct answer. इसमें simple सा rule use होता है that whenever you say log b to the base a is greater than c, then b is greater than a to the power c if a is greater than 1. और यहां पे तो a आपका greater than 1 है ही. In both the cases your base is definitely greater than 1. एक केस में 2 है, एक केस में 4 है. So it definitely satisfies in both the cases. According to that, my answer is 47. I hope all of you understood the solution. Jahan aapko doubt lage, please say it in the doubt section, sorry, in the chat section. I'll try to answer that as well. I'll move ahead to question number 2 now. Question number 2 on your screen is here. Deepak, if you think you can improve your performance, you should write it then. Here we have question number 2. I'm sure all of you have read it. The number of integer solutions of this equation. something to the power something is 1. And let me tell you, this kind of questions has been asked by cat before as well. Same type. A number raised to the power something else, and then he says it is equal to 1. So there are three cases in which a number raised to the power something becomes 1. First case, any number raised to the power 0 will be equal to 1. That is one case. Any number, whenever it is raised to the power 0, it will be equal to 1. Second case, 1 raised to the power anything will be equal to 1. If the base is 1, whatever is written in the power, the final value will always be equal to 1. Any number raised to the power 0 is 1, and 1 raised to the power any number is equal to 1. And third scenario is minus 1 raised to the power even number is also equal to 1. Minus 1 raised to the power even number is also equal to 1. That is the third scenario now. So we just have to take all these three cases one by one. Let's talk about case 1. Case 1 is when the power is 0. So x square minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0, which means x square minus 5x plus 2x minus 10 is equal to 0. I am sure all of you can solve it easily. You will get two values as 5 and minus 2, right? So if 5 and minus 2 are there, the power will become 0. And if the power becomes 0, whatever is there in the base, the final value is always going to be 1. क्योंकि किसी भी नंबर की पावर 0 कर दो वो हमेशा 1 ही बनाता है. Second scenario, when the base is 1, if the base is equal to 1, that means x square minus 10 is equal to 1. So x square is equal to 11. X is equal to plus minus root 11. और plus minus root 11 तो integer ही नहीं है. So there we don't have any value. What about case number 3? Case number 3 is when the base is minus 1. So x square minus 10 is equal to minus 1. This gives me x square is equal to 9. That is x is equal to plus minus 3. But in this case, I also have to check whether the values make the numerator, sorry, power even or not. If I put 3 into the power, it will become 3 square minus 3 into 3 minus 10, which is an even number. And if I put minus 3 into that, minus 3 square minus 3 into minus 3 minus 10, it is also even. So therefore, both of these values are also valid. So 5 is a valid value, minus 2 is a valid value, plus 3 is a valid value, minus 3 is a valid value. Total number of integer values that can satisfy is equal to 4. So 4 is the right answer for this question. 4 is the right answer for this question. Generally, we forget this third part. ये ठीक है, पावर 0 बनेगी तो 1 बनेगा, या फिर बेस 1 बनेगा तो 1 बनेगा, लेकिन कुछ लोग ये भूल जाते हैं that it can become 1 in one more case when the base is minus 1 and the power is an even number, क्योंकि minus 1 की even power हमेशा 1 ही बनाती है. Sir, your way of solving maths helped me a lot, sir. Can you share some strategy how to make quant section strong? Thank you, Anand, first of all. But yes, I would try someday to discuss that complete strategy. Of course, we probably can't do that in 2 or 3 minutes. I might have taken such sessions on previously as well. If you just browse through our YouTube channel, we would have discussed such thing before too. I've taken many such sessions. Or even you can go to BYJU'S exam prep app. There also we have taken some sessions like these, strategy and all based questions. Chaliye, that was question number 2. I'll move ahead now to question number 3 on your screen now. Please try to answer this question. All of you, first of all, read this and please do press the like button as well if you are able to understand the solutions. Question number 3 is here. I'm sure all of you have read it now. So let's start doing it. Suppose k is any integer such that the equation this has no real roots and this equation has two distinct real roots, what is the number of possible values of k? So when would an equation have no real roots and when would an quadratic equation have two distinct real roots? We all know probably in terms of D. No real roots are there when discriminant is less than 0 and two distinct real roots are there when discriminant is greater than 0. So for the first equation discriminant should be less than 0. First equation की बात करता हूँ. Discriminant is b square minus 4 into a into c should be less than 0. This implies k square should be less than 40. K square should be less than 40. Second equation क्या कहती है? Two distinct real roots. So k minus 5 square minus 4 into a into c should be greater than 0. This means k minus 5 whole square should be greater than 4. K minus 5 whole square should be greater than 4. So from the first equation I can say k should be less than root 40 and greater than minus root 40. और सेकेंड इक्वेशन क्या कहती है? k minus 5 should be greater than 2 और less than minus 2. अब बस इन दोनों को मुझे सॉल्व करना है. तो फर्स्ट इक्वेशन कहती है k should be less than 6 point something and greater than minus 6 point something. सेकेंड कहती है k should be greater than 7 and less than minus 2, राइट? लेस देन माइनस 2 और ग्रेटर देन 7. अब इन दोनों को सेटिस्फाई करके मुझे आंसर चाहिए. नाउ k should be less than 6 point something, तो ऑफ कोर्स k कैन नॉट बी ग्रेटर देन 7, तो ये केस तो वैसे रूल आउट हो गया. दैट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. k is greater than minus 6 point something. That means from minus 6 you can have the values of k and k should be less than minus 2. माइनस 2 से छोटी वैल्यूज होनी चाहिए. आई एम सॉरी, प्लस 3 आना था. ये k should be less than 3. So minus 6 से बड़ी और plus 3 से छोटी. So minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. I can't take 3 because 3 से छोटी चाहिए. So total value of number of values is 6 plus 3, 9. 9 values are there. So my answer for this question is equal to 9. Why 3 here? Because this minus 5 when goes on this side, it becomes 3. When minus 5 goes on the other side, that becomes 7. So k is between 3 and 7 according to the second equation, right? Sorry, outside 3 and 7. According to the first equation, k is between minus 6 point something and plus 6 point something. उसके बीच में रेंज में जो numbers आ रहे थे, we counted those. 9 questions we found. My answer for this question becomes 9. That was option C here. So option C is the right answer. That's question number 3. All these questions are from CAT 2022. This was from slot 3. Previous one was from slot 3. उससे पहले वाला slot 2. इसी तरह के questions है सारे. I'll move ahead to question number 4, which again is from CAT 2022, slot 3 only. So please try to answer this question now. Please read it as well. Do not forget to press the like button as well whenever you get a chance. I'm sure all of you have seen the question. Let us start doing it. What is the minimum possible value of x square minus 6x plus 10 divided by 3 minus x when x is less than 3? So I have 3 minus x here. In the numerator, I have x square minus 6x. Now with x square minus 6x, if I have 9 more, it actually becomes x minus 3 whole square, isn't it? Right? This whole thing becomes x minus 3 whole square. So I have broken 10 into 9 plus 1. Now x square minus 6x plus 9 is x minus 3 whole square plus 1 divided by 3 minus x. And when it is a square, x minus 3 square or 3 minus x square, they are exactly the same thing. So 3 minus x square plus 1 divided by 3 minus x can also be written. Break them into two parts. It is 3 minus x whole square divided by 3 minus x. plus 1 divided by 3 minus x, and when they cancel out, it ultimately becomes 3 minus x plus 1 upon 3 minus x. It is like the form of n plus 1 by n. A number plus its reciprocal, it is always greater than or equal to 2 if n is positive. It is less than or equal to minus 2 if n is negative. यहां पे उसने बोला है x is less than 3. If x is less than 3, then 3 minus x is going to be a positive number, right? And positive plus 1 by the same number will always be greater than equal to 2. That's what the question is asking you. What is the minimum possible value? If it is always greater than equal to 2, the minimum possible value is 2 only. So right answer for this question according to me would be option A, that is equal to 2. I hope that is understood to all of you. समझ आ गई होगी सबको बात. It's a rule from algebra. A number plus its reciprocal is always greater than equal to 2 if the number is positive, and it is less than equal to minus 2 if the number is negative. यहाँ क्योंकि x 3 से कम था तो ऑटोमेटिकली x minus 3 minus x has to be a positive number. और अगर पॉजिटिव नंबर आप लेंगे then the number plus reciprocal has to be less than or equal to 3, which gives me the right answer for this question as 2. I hope that this is clear now to each one of you. समझ आ गया है? That was question number 4. I'll move ahead to the next question. Question number 5, which is again from CAT 2022 and this time from slot 1. Answer this now. पढ़ लीजिए एक बार, फिर मिलके करते हैं इस क्वेश्चन को अभी. I'm sure all of you have read it now. For natural numbers x, y, and z, if xy plus yz is 19 and yz plus xz is 51, then the minimum possible value of xyz is what? This is what the question is asking. चलिए करते हैं. xy plus yz is 19, so I can take y common. I will have y into x plus z is equal to 19. Now 19 is a prime number, so we can write 19 in only two ways. One, y is equal to 1, x plus z is 19, or y is equal to 19, x plus z is equal to 1. Now I can easily rule out the second case. When x, y, z, they all are natural numbers. How can sum of two natural numbers be 1? The minimum possible natural numbers are 1 and 1. उनका सम भी 2 आएगा, तो ये x plus z 1 हो जाए, ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता. So I can straight away say this is not possible. Y is surely 1 and x plus z is surely 19 from here. Second, from here I can take z common. Inside I will have y plus x is equal to 51. Now 51 can be written as 51 into 1. It can also be written as 17 into 3. ये इसके कुछ तरीके हैं. But y is already given as 1. y तो हमें पता लग चुका है 1 है. x plus z is equal to 19. Now 1 के साथ में यहाँ क्या लूं such that it becomes a factor of 51. One way is 2 because 1 plus 2 is 3 and 3 से 17 पे cancel out होता है ये, तो z should be 17. Is z plus x coming out to be 19? Yes. 17 plus 2 19 बन रहा है, so yes, that's correct. Other possibility, y is equal to 1 and let us say x is equal to 16, so that 1 plus 16 is 17. 17 से 51 कितने पे कैंसल आउट होगा? 3 पे. Once again I see 3 plus 16 is coming out to be 19. ये भी सही है. थर्ड, इफ आई टेक इट एज 50, तो ये 51 into 1 हो जाएगा. ये दोनों तो पक्का ही सम 19 नहीं बना रहे, so this case is rejected. So there are only two cases which are possible for the values of x, y, z. In the first case, the values are 2, 1, and 17. In the second case, the values are 16, 1, and 3. Product of these three is 34 here. Product of these three is 48 here. Question says minimum possible value of their product. I am getting the minimum possible value as 34. 34 is the right answer for this question. Music core has already answered there as 34. नेचुरल नंबर्स हैं. नेचुरल नंबर्स जब दे दिए होते हैं तो काम बहुत आसान हो जाता है. एंड इवन 19 इज लाइक अ नंबर विच इज अ प्राइम नंबर. सो हाउ मेनी पॉसिबिलिटीज कैन बी फॉर्म्ड. नेचुरल नंबर लेने आपको तीन. प्रोडक्ट ऑफ टू ऑफ देम एंड प्रोडक्ट ऑफ टू ऑफ देम शुड बी 19 और एक नंबर कॉमन भी आ रहा है. अब वो कॉमन नंबर 1 या 19 ही तो हो सकता है बिकॉज इट हैज टू बी फैक्टर ऑफ 19. So by that logic, we immediately get only two solutions and they satisfy this. Through that, we get the minimum possible value of xyz as 34. That was question number 5. I am assuming that you all have understood this. I'll move ahead now to the last question of the day, question number 6. Here is this long question. Have a look at this. After that, we'll be doing it together. Oh, musical. Looks like you remember the answers, huh? You must have appeared for the paper. As far as I remember, you appeared for the paper. Or probably you might have done all these questions later on as well. I'm sure all of you have read it. Let's start doing it. Pinky is standing in a queue at a ticket counter. So let's say Pinky is standing at this point. The ratio of the number of people standing ahead of Pinky to the number of people standing behind her in the queue is 3:5. So people ahead of us, let us say they are 3x. So people behind her would be 5x. So can I say the total number of people is 3x above ahead of us, 5x behind us, that is 8x plus 1 is Pinky. He says the total number of people in the queue is less than 300. So this 8x plus 1 is less than 300. What is the maximum possible number of people standing ahead of Pinky? I want to maximize this. If I want to maximize this, I will have to maximize this as well. So the simple point is, what should I put in place of x? So that 8x plus 1 300 से बड़ा ना हो जाए. तो 300 के पास 8 का मल्टीपल देख लीजिए. If I divide 300 by 8, 8 3 is 24, 8 7 is 56. अगर आप 8 into 37 करते हैं, 8 into 37 is 296. 8 into 37 plus 1 is 297. And of course, this is the last value which is less than 300. अगर 38 ले लोगे तो ये above 297, 300 चला जाएगा. So x is equal to 37 is the largest number that you can fit in here. So therefore, by putting 37 here, I get the largest number of people ahead of Pinky. My answer is 3 into 37. That is 111. That's absolutely correct, which is question number 6 for today. Last question of the day. I am sure you have got a decent idea about algebra. If you have any more questions, please put them in the chat box right now. I would answer all of them. In the meanwhile, I'll tell you that these are the heroes of our online classroom program from last year, CAT 2022. These are the classroom program toppers that you can see. Their percentiles and many more people are there. I'm sure that many of you have the capability of to be on the screen next year. For that, join our comprehensive program, right? For CAT 2023, where we provide you 300 plus engaging videos, live sessions, mock tests, practice questions, even GDPI wet preparation, study notes and CAT question paper. There are a lot many things which are provided to you. Therefore, only we call it a comprehensive program, and we have new batches almost every week. To facilitate you with that, we are giving you up to 90% scholarships, and for that you have to appear for the exam on 15th of April at 7 p.m. on BYJU'S exam prep app. Download the app, register for it now, and apply for this, appear for this test. I'm sure that you all can win these scholarships to go for that particular course. Also, I would be there with, I think this is the older one which I have already taken. तो इसमें कुछ mistake है. And you can also get daily section wise quizzes, right? For that, once again, you have to download the app. There you will find out daily section wise quizzes that we have started, and you can go have a good practice for your exam. We are also starting with this 500 most expected CAT questions from April 6, and subscribe for that now. And I'm sure that many of you would have seen that we have started this series before as well, 100 most expected questions for different exams. and they have been pretty useful for the kids. For CAT, we are starting it right from April 6. It will be going up to the CAT exam. 500 most expected questions for CAT will be discussing in this whole series. So subscribe to BYJU'S exam prep channel and you'll find out these sessions are on which dates. You can also find us on all these media handles, guys. That's all from my side for today. I'm sure you liked the session. If you did, please do press the like button as well. That's all. Have a good day now. Bye bye, Tata, and take care, guys. See you soon.